Good afternoon, this is Simon from Prestige Garden Services, currently in Morley on a client's property. Believe it or not, we're actually processing some quite interesting work on their lawn. As you can see at the moment, we've got a couple of machines running in the background, but before we take you through those, I'm just going to come away from the lawn and give you a little bit of information about what we're doing and why we're doing that. So currently the client is struggling with their lawn, and it isn't until you find out a little bit of information about what's been going on in the background do you really start to understand effectively the science about why their grass isn't growing. It's thatch related, and obviously that of organic matter that's decomposed that's effectively strangling the current lawn. But in addition to that, having had a chat with Mark, the client, he had an extension on the property. We can see that clearly from the from behind me, where we've obviously had an extension, as you can see, from the main building out towards the back of the garden. And with that, the previous, the builders basically have actually come in and they've turfed the current lawn, and with that, the problems effectively then come to surface, and that is obviously of building material that they've used, grit, sand, a host of particular materials that effectively the grass that has been put down, the turf, really is not doing us very, very well. And that's because its substructure is starved of nutrients, vitamins, and that called NPK, which is nitrogen, potassium and phosphate. So the primary work that really we've completed this morning was that obviously of cutting the grass, getting it down to a very, very low level in regards to using a lawnmower, and then obviously working with the machines obviously in question, with the Tine machine, which you can see is running in the background, and that of the Scarification, which is this fella here. Now, as you can see as I'm walking over the actual soil at the moment, I say soil, you can see just towards the end here, towards the gravel board, the problems, and that is that it's really, really poor quality soil. And obviously with that, you've got a whole host of different particular materials within the soil that aren't doing very, very well. It's very difficult to grow grass when you're working with this kind of material. You can see I'm just pulling this up very gently, and within that root system you can see a host of different rocks, sand and materials that really is not conducive to effectively growing good quality grass. In addition to that, I've been coming across slate and a whole host of different particular materials that really are going to struggle in regards to having a layer of good soil, good quality soil to work from. So if we just talk about that for a second, grass has got to have three particular materials: silt, good loam, good soil, and clay. People often use sand to kind of spread over the actual lawn to try and assist with the growth of grass, which is also, you can use it to a degree, but it's much conducive to use soil. Sand effectively covers a blanket. It's great for filling in spots and lifting levels, but when you start to spread sand over it, in addition to soil, what you're doing then is it's almost like throwing a deck of cards across the lawn, and when it rains, it kind of, imagine having a plastic sheet, it just can't penetrate into the soil and obviously give the seeds, the root systems, the water, the feed. So in addition to obviously applying soil onto this, which we'll be doing later, there's no point in putting soil in now and feed. I want to get the substructure opened up, I want to get it holotined, I want to get good 2 or 3 inches of loam coming out, almost like pulling a plug out the actual, cork out of a bottle. I want to try and take these particular soil looms out of the actual grass, and that will then obviously open up the surface, allowing me to get feed into it. So on the feed side of things, we've obviously got that of some great Nutrigrow, which as you can see here, has got a mixture of nitrogen, phosphate and potassium, and that's very, very, very important. In addition to that, we've actually purchased some really, really incredible quality winter seed, as you can see in here, which is really, really, really quality seed. In addition to that, it's got a fabulous chemical within that also assists in growing grass within winter and getting germinated. So the actual machine here that is just running in the background, I'll just put into gear. You can see it's running. I'm going to just engage its mechanism and just run this a little bit, and you can see it punches the ground and leaves holes behind. It pulls out these fellas here, which is effectively pulling out, you know, a little bit of a core. I call these, and within that you can see and I can identify the kind of soil that it is. I can play around with that and mould it, so I know we've got a clay-based soil to work with, which is good. It's not that bad, but I know that because of the quality of grass that we've had on this, we've been struggling. And obviously with thatch, we have obviously roots and grass systems that are growing effectively horizontally along the lawn, and that's not what we want. We want grass shoots to go up. So with that, obviously, we're processing 3 particular applications here: tining, scarifying, there's this machine here. In addition to that, obviously lawn. So we've cut the grass, opened it up, opened up the holes, and now we're obviously at the final stages where we're going to be raking up all this particular here, where the scarifier's raked it through and just literally dragged up a lot of this organic material, which is just full of really bad stuff. We want to take all that stuff away and replace it with some really good food source, which we've got. Scarifying, aeration, time to do it is pretty much now autumn through to obviously spring. We've got a good day today. It was raining this morning, but the sun has come out, it's dried up a bit. Obviously, I had my waterproofs on, and I don't really mind working in that kind of weather. The temperature's not bad. It's perfect type of environment to get this work done. I'm just thinking if I've covered everything off with regards to the work that we're doing. I can't remember everything whilst I'm on live, but certainly it's a great process to apply. Certainly if you're struggling with lawns, everyone's got thatch to some degree and moss, and obviously it needs treating. So should you need any further information from myself on lawn maintenance, certainly with operations like this where you've got troublesome lawns, please get in touch. This is Simon from Prestige Garden Services. Wishing you a good afternoon.